I worked hard for these results. I suffered. I went through the fire. Adversity builds character. I went through the fire for this. I only had surgery one time on my leg when I got shot. Nigga knocked my bone out my leg because I wouldn't give it up. God bless the dead, because I ain't gonna give it up. I worked hard for this shit. I suffered for this shit. And I was honest with everybody. I said I became so infatuated with being slim and having a body. I used to take Adderall to go to the gym. I used to take so much pre-workout, it probably would have bust my heart. By the grace of God, I'm still here. Until I started just celebrating my success in small increments and not comparing myself to the people that I see on the Instagram with the perfect bodies and shit. Now my body, that bitch perfect. When you see somebody going to the gym 3-4 times a day, something not right with him, because something wasn't right with me. And as men, we'll go to the gym and just kill ourselves and hurt ourselves in the gym to keep from hurting somebody else. There's a lot of men that suffer in silence. They come up to me, they hug me in the gym, they cry right there when they see me. Because I see you. Amen. I see what you're going through.
When you say suffer in silence, do you know how powerful that is?
We do. It's a lot of us that suffer in silence. Like, we suffer in silence to get the things that we think we want. But everybody want what they don't want. Yeah, we don't really want those things. We just think we want it. But when you love what you have everything you need. We was happy to just have a car. Till this nigga pulled up in this Rolls Royce on the side of me. Now I'm suffering again. He got this bad bitch with him. But if he go to jail, she gone.
Right.
But this woman right here, shit, I go to jail, man, the horse legs ain't never broke. She gonna run for me. The greatest test that anything can withstand is time. Just give it time. It'll reveal itself.
Yeah, man.
It'll reveal itself. I know a lot of bad bitches that, hey, you ain't gonna hold no nigga down if he go to jail. You not gonna pick the phone up. You not gonna do none of that. And I hate to look at it like that, but would you have fucked with me when I was broke? I don't just want no wife. I don't want no wife. You know, you gonna honor your friend different, your best friend, than you gonna honor a wife. You know, a wife just seemed like a business deal, a business
title.
Yeah, it seemed like a business relationship. Happy wife, happy life. Like, you gonna not piss me the fuck off contingent upon if I'm keeping you happy. Like, I want a best friend. I wanna have a best friend to where if you my best friend, like, we there for each other. I'm there for you emotionally. You have a death in the family. I'm gonna comfort you.
Can your wife be your best friend?
My best friend could be my partner. My best friend could be my partner. Either we grow together or we grow apart. Because there's going to be times in everybody's life where y'all going to grow together, then y'all going to grow apart, and then y'all going to grow into yourselves, and then it reunite. It might just go left and right, but guess what? It ain't a negative thing. We experience a beautiful thing together, and now the journey must go on.
And my thing, and the reason why I did ask that, Kev, is because, like, my wife, I consider my wife my best friend.
Shit, you winning.
Yeah, and I'm talking about, man, like, I could be vulnerable. You know what I'm saying? I can cry in front of my wife.
You winning. Yeah, I cry 3-4 times a day.
Yeah,
I just cry, and that's, I don't know why. I be releasing. Sometimes I just cry, and they got this book, How to Cry Like a Man.
Oh yeah, that's Jason Wilson. Yes,
Jason Wilson, and he a sensei. Me and him used to be talking in my DMs. And I had read a couple of inserts from the book, and it was so powerful to me because I'm like, I'm the type of person, I'm a nerd. I had like 3-4 books, and I just 2-3 chapters. But How to Cry Like a Man, and vulnerability is the most beautiful thing it is on earth.
I got that book, bro.
He a real, like, karate sensei master. He will fuck you up.
Yeah.
But he will also cry.
And you see the way he is with his the kids in his classes.
And he teaching them how to be men.
Yeah, man. And how to be emotional at the same time.
It's emotional intelligence for me. Man. Like, how I navigate is I ask myself, why am I feeling like this? Where does this emotion, this me being triggered like this emotionally, where does this stem from? So it always take me going back. Was it ever a time in my life where my mama or somebody in the family made me feel like I wasn't seen, or made me feel like I wasn't good enough, or made me feel like I wasn't worthy. And could it be that that's triggering this? I talk to myself. Because once I talk to myself, I be like, man, Gates, man, don't call that bitch back, man. Man, you getting the same results every time, man. Fuck that hoe, man. We ain't doing no chasing. We only replacing. Sometimes you got to talk to yourself.
Hey, man.
You got to get in tune with yourself out here. And you a giver.
Yeah, man.
But guess what?
Talk to me.
Takers always recognize givers.
Boom.
The hardest thing for me to do was to set boundaries and say no. And this is the year that I've been putting the energy back into myself for the first time in my life.
Hey, bro.
I've been really putting energy into me. Like I take salt baths at night. Like I do the things that it take for me to heal. I ain't talking about going and get a pedicure and manicure. That's just maintenance. I'm talking about really soul searching with yourself, getting with yourself, sitting alone with yourself and working through them psychological traumas, emotional traumas, that type of shit. So you don't be triggered when you somewhere.
Amen.
Because everybody faking, living a facade, everybody suffering on the inside.
Did you, and you know exactly what I was saying, bro. Did you have a problem with saying no?
What?
And where did that come from? Because
not feeling like I was good enough, it stemmed from that. And then it also, you identify with not having. When you really come from nothing, you identify with not having. So you see yourself when you were struggling in somebody else. And so because you see yourself from when you were struggling with somebody else, you easing your inner child, you easing the pain of your inner child through helping others, which is a beautiful thing. It is, but you gotta realize that they got people that are takers.
Yeah.
And they recognize givers. They'll come tell you, they come play vulnerable, they do all that. But when you fasting, I haven't eaten in the last like 4 days, so you can't even go 4 hours without eating. You can really eat my fuck you. And in my mind, but when you just, I'ma know if you my real friend when I tell you I'm not gonna be able to do it. Cause you a bitch ass nigga once you tell a nigga no. Once you tell a motherfucker no, man, you low down, rotten, dirty motherfucker.
99 yeses. The 100th is a no. Man, F him. He changed. He's this, he's that. Oh, 100%, bro.
Story of my life.
Yeah.
When life clobbers you across the head and knocks you down and you're in that dark valley, everything in your life is dark. And you're asking yourself, what am I going to do now? And you're doubting yourself. These moments, these are what define your life.
There's going to be things that go on that are out of your control. The worst thing you can do is let something that's out of your control control you. Get control of yourself, get control of your emotions. Don't get angry, don't get frustrated. Instead, stay calm and figure out how to move forward.
Things are going to get harder, things are going to get tougher. That's the way life works. So what you need to do is you need to get harder and you need to get tougher.
I'm talking to you. You're going through a storm right now. And I want you to know that this too shall pass, like every storm that has come to you. Every single storm, this too shall pass. Just because you fail don't make you a failure. And just because you lost don't make you a loser. Whatever you're going through right now, if you can just muster up enough strength to hold on and hold out. I don't care how long it takes you to finish school. Hold on. I don't care how long it takes you to pass that bar exam. Hold on and hold out. If you do not quit, if you do not give up, it's coming, baby. I want you to speak life into that thing. Whatever it is, you feel like I can't fail another test. I can't go through another day like this. I can't handle it. Whatever your circumstances are, say with me, I can. I can get through this. I will get through this. I must.
You're not a product of your environment. You're not a product of your external storm, what you have or what you don't have, where you come from or what you don't come from. The traumas, the abuses, the good and the bad, none of that dictates, but it's what you will do in the moment. What's your response? What you do matters. As long as there's breath in your lungs, there's hope in your heart. As long as you're breathing, yes, you can.
You have got to make a declaration that I am going to get through this. I am tougher than this. I'm bigger than this. I'm stronger than this. I will not surrender. Because whatever challenge is in front of me, it pales in comparison to the power within me. You have got to take full responsibility of your life. I got myself here. I can get myself out, and I am getting out. I am not going to be a volunteer victim.
You will take full ownership. It's my fault. It's my problem. I'm coming up with the solution for it. It's my fault. It's my problem. It's my solution. I'm taking ownership. You gotta increase your willpower because you're gonna go through it. You gotta look at life when life knocks you down and says, this all you got? The dark? Is this it? I was born in the dark, shaped in the dark, molded by the dark. I will break you because I lived in the dark. I trained in the dark. I became this person in the dark. You recycle your pain. You use your pain. You take your pain and let your pain push you to another level. Push you past what you ever thought you could do, what you ever thought you could be, what you ever thought you could have. You use your pain. You recycle it. I just need you to keep walking toward it. I don't need you thinking about it no more. You're doing too much thinking. You analyze it too much. You're talking yourself out of it. I don't know if this is gonna work. I tried and it didn't work. I just need you to keep moving. I need you to make up in your mind that the only way you can lose is if you quit. I just need you to keep going. They make diamonds by 1, putting it under pressure, 2, putting it under extreme heat, and 3, they cut it. When it finishes going through all of that, you cannot break it. I've been broken so much. I've been defeated so much. I've been disappointed so much in my life that I know what it feels like and I can handle it. Once you get to that point, you cannot be broken anymore. Find that reason to wake up every day and go get it. Everybody's got a dream. Everybody's got a goal. But when you write your why down, what your why does for you is says, you can't quit. You can't give up. You can't stop. Your spouse is going to push you. Your child is going to push you. The need to get better is going to push you. Because you're closer than you're ever going to be, it's going to push you. Your goals are going to push you. Your dreams are going to push you. The opportunity of a lifetime that happens in this particular time frame is going to push you. It's going to drive you.
You have to make a decision that I will learn from this thing. Every experience is my education. I've already made up my mind that I know I will fall down. I know that I will stumble, but I already see myself getting back up. Therefore, I'm never down. I'm either up or getting back up. I'm gonna learn.
You will never ever be successful until you turn your pain into greatness, until you allow your pain to push you from where you are to push you to where you need to be. Stop running from your pain and embrace your pain. Your pain is going to be a part of your prize, a part of your product. I challenge you to push yourself. If you would be willing to fight your way through this battle, fight your way through cancer, fight your way through that academic struggle, fight your way through divorce, fight your way through that singing career, fight your way through boxing, fight your way through football. At the end of the fight is going to come victory. I challenge you to never give up. You're gonna be here one day, but you'll never get here if you give up, if you give in, if you quit. And finally, guys, you gotta wanna succeed as bad as you wanna breathe.
And as you crawl up and out of that dismal and wretched place, as you rise above what you were, and as you take the form of who you are supposed to be, in the very act of standing up, in the very act of fighting on, you will become and you will remain unbroken.
Everybody in your life will have a turn back moment. No matter who you are, you're going to have such a period in your life where it seems like it's not working. You're going to have doubts. You're going to have a lot of trials and tribulations and challenges. You always have a moment in your life where the direction you're going, you will have to make a decision to keep going or you turn back. The sad thing is, the average person turns back.
And it doesn't matter how you get knocked down in life, because that's gonna happen. All that matters is that you gotta get up.
Fall down, get back up again. Fall down, get back up again. Fall down, get back up again.
It ain't about how hard you hit. It's about how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward. How much you can take and keep moving forward. That's how winning is done.
The hardships that we've had are actually the things that teach us the skills and the perspective we need to actually become what we want to be.
And if you quit, if you falter, if you stop, all the pain will be for nothing.
Now, if you know what you're worth, now go out and get what you're worth. But you gotta be willing to take the hits. and not pointing fingers saying you ain't where you want to be because of him or her or anybody. Cowards do that, and that ain't you. You're better than that.
I don't care how low you are. I don't care what you have done. I don't care what you have experienced. I don't care how devastated your life might appear to be, the shambles it might be in. Wherever you are in life, ladies and gentlemen, you've got comeback power. There's a power in you that can enable you to be stronger and better than anything that's out here. Once you begin to know who you are, once you discover this power, the perfect essence of who you are, that's in all of us, that's permeating our being, that enable us to be the directors of our lives. It will set you free from believing, I can't see myself doing any better. That you truly can live a healthy, happy, prosperous life, and that you can make it in what are called the worst of times. Tough times never last, but tough people do. And you are tough.
Whatever it is I want, this price is going to get much higher than this. It's going to get harder than this. And I've decided in advance it's going to be difficult, and I've decided in advance to stay in. I'm going to stay in the hunt. I'm going to stay fighting. I'm going to stay busting it. I'm going to pay the price until I get what it is that I deserve.
The people in life that win play offense, not defense. Stop backing into everything. Stand up. Bow your back a little bit. Start to walk a little different. Start to be that best version of you.
You have to resolve yourself today that you're going to win, that you're going to dominate, that you're not average and ordinary. There has to become a point where you make a decision. We're going to dominate. We're here to win. We are not here to play. And that takes some intestinal fortitude. It takes a decision. I'm where I'm at because I just flat decided at some point I get to choose who I am. The world doesn't tell me who I am. And in every family, there's the one that eventually shows up in a family. They rise up and changes the whole family forever. I'm the damn one. And in your family, you could be the one.
It's you. You've got to make it your personal business to make it happen. And you've got to resolve within yourself that I'm the one. I'm the one to make this happen. But you know it's going to be hard, but find out what will make it worth it for you. When life drops you to your knees, your reasons will help you get back up. Why are you here, Les? Because I want to make Mama proud of you. Why are you here, Les? I promised my kids something to do for them. I'm going to give them a better life. I want to leave them a legacy. I'm not going to give up. Go back, fool, go back. No. The people that are running after their dream know they're going to have hard times. They keep on running because they're saying within themselves, I'm the one. I'm the one. No matter how bad it is or how bad it gets, I'm going to make it.
You've lost touch with who you are, the core of your being. You know, I was frustrated. I was depressed. I even have to admit I had moments that were slightly suicidal because I knew deep down that I could do something. I was different from other people. I had different experiences, you know, and I knew that there was something I needed to express. There was a purpose to how my life had unfolded, but I couldn't find it. I had tried everything. I had tried every form of writing, every possible endeavor you can imagine. It just didn't click. So I was very deeply frustrated. And the frustration, I tell people, is a good thing. Negative emotions are trying to teach you something. They're trying to teach you the opposite. Something else is going on. Frustration, what would be worse than frustration would be despair, giving up. No hope, but frustration is a sign that you haven't given up. You know you can do something, but you haven't figured it out. So when you have those kind of feelings, look at them and there's something positive in that. So I knew that there was something I was meant to do. I just couldn't figure it out when. It's easy for me, a boomer, I have to admit that, to preach to you when you have gone through we've gone through a pandemic, what looks like to be a recession, and then if you're a millennial, you went through the crash in 2008. It's easy for me to preach. You're dealing with really difficult circumstances. So a lot of people are rethinking their lives. They don't want to work at crap jobs just to get by. And I applaud that 100%, right? That's great. So you want to think about working for yourself is the ultimate position in this world. And even though times are difficult, even though it may seem like just a dream, there's so much potential out there for entrepreneurial spirit, for creating your own startup, for creating your own podcast, for going your own path in life. You don't have to follow other people. It's not like it was when I was growing up. There were things that were better back then, but there are things that were a lot worse, right? You have so many more options. It's just that you're not going to reach them. You're not going to be happy in this short time that you have to be alive unless you take it seriously and still have some fun and adventure and excitement. You got to listen to yourself and you have to embrace what makes you different. Just don't listen to your parents go, I got to be making $100,000 when I'm 23 and go to law school and do all this stuff. You're going to burn out. So kind of understand I guess the main thing I would say is know who you are, know what you're deep down in your core, what you love, what you hate, and what you were destined to create in this world. That's like the most important process you can go through. Everybody has that potential. But I know it doesn't come easy. It's a process and you have to be patient, but you have to put in the work. But another skill that you cannot ignore is the social. We're social animals. And there are a lot of people in life who ignore that because they're shy. And I was very shy as a young man. I was mostly quite introverted as well. Because they're shy, they just simply lean on their own strength, which is learning something really well, learning math or learning algorithms or learning how to write, etc. And they ignore the social because they're afraid of it. But you cannot get ahead in this world as a social animal dependent on other people in every aspect of life unless you treat that as another skill as well. So yes, the process of looking inward is absolutely essential, but you cannot disconnect yourself from your teachers, your mentors, your colleagues. You could have all the skill in the world and know your life's task brilliantly. But if you continually alienate people by your boorish behavior, by your insensitivity, all of the skill level in the world will be completely neutralized by your own mistakes. I didn't listen to other people. At so many turning points in my life, I could have been discouraged. People could have said, I had somebody say, Robert, you're never going to be a good writer in life. You need to go to business school, etc. My parents tried to funnel me this way or that way. I was stubborn and I was rebellious and I did my own thing. And because of that, I have kind of a different voice from other people, right? And when I look at books out there, I'm searching for that voice of somebody who's different, who has something different to say, who speaks in a different tone of voice, that has their blood and their personality in their writing. And I don't find it often, but when I do, it's a great thing. And so, to me, success in life is kind of being who you are. There's a famous expression of the great ancient Greek poet Pindar about become who you are. It's a process of becoming who you actually are and realizing what it is. So we talked about my weirdness earlier on, and following that has allowed me to craft my own message, which is basically about opening your eyes up to the reality of the world and to what people are like. But I'm not able to do that unless I had ignored what other people tried to foist on me earlier on in life. It's never too late.
Trust God. 2 single-syllable words that you have heard forever, but you will discover as time passes how difficult they are to obey. Trust God. Of course, I have no way of knowing what the future holds for you. You may lose your home and everything in a fire. You may lose your spouse to an early disease, detected but not cured. You may lose your dreams, your hopes. You may lose a relationship that you have cultivated over the years. All losses are painful.
We prayed just as hard for my father when his health went downhill as we did for my mother. We quoted the same scriptures. We asked God to restore his health, to let him live. But my father went to be with the Lord. It didn't happen the way I wanted. There will always be unanswered questions. Why didn't my loved one make it? Why am I not getting better? Why did this person leave? Some things are not going to make sense, but God wouldn't have allowed it if he wasn't going to bring good out of it. You may not see it at the time, but God knows what he's doing. He has your best interest at heart. It's not random. It's a part of his plan.
Trust in the Lord with all your heart, and lean not to your own understanding. In all your ways, acknowledge him, and he will make your paths straight. All your heart, all your ways, trust. Trust.
But what about when things aren't going our way? Our prayers aren't being answered. The problem isn't turning around. We're not seeing favor. Too often we get discouraged. Think, God, why aren't you doing something? You can see I'm being mistreated. My health isn't good. I worked hard, but I didn't get the promotion. We think when it changes, we'll be happy. When I meet the right person, when my health improves, when we have this baby, then we'll have a good attitude. That's conditional trust. God, if you meet my demands, if you answer my prayers the way I want, on my timetable, then I'll be my best. The problem with conditional trust is there will always be things we don't understand. Something that's not happening fast enough. It didn't work out the way we wanted. If I would have had conditional trust, I would have gotten upset, bitter. God, why didn't you answer my prayers? The truth is, God did answer my prayer. It just wasn't the way I wanted. Are you mature enough to accept God's answers even though they're not what you were hoping for? God is a sovereign God. We're not going to understand everything that happens. Faith is trusting God when life doesn't make sense. God doesn't take us in a straight line. There'll be twists, turns, the disappointments, the loss, the bad breaks. They're all a part of His plan. But if you have conditional trust, you'll get discouraged and think, why is this happening? I'm going the wrong way. But God is still directing your steps. Trust Him when you don't understand. Trust Him even when it feels like you're going the wrong direction. Living worried, frustrated, disappointed, that takes our passion. It steals our joy, and it can keep us from seeing God's favor. And sometimes the closed doors, the disappointments, they are simply a test. God wants to see if we'll trust Him when we don't understand it, when life doesn't make sense. We have to show Him that we don't have to have the house to be happy. If we don't have the baby, we're not going to live bitter and sour. You're believing for your health to improve, but when you can say, if it doesn't get better, God, I'm still going to honor You. I'm still going to be my best. When God sees that you don't have to have it, many times like Him, God will give you back what you were willing to give up. Are you living frustrated because your prayers aren't being answered the way you want? Your plans aren't working out? Take the pressure off. God is in control. He knows what's best for you. You're not always going to understand it. If you did, it wouldn't take any faith. I'm asking you to trust Him unconditionally. If you'll do this, I believe and declare God is going to work out His plan for your life. He's going to open the right doors, bring the right people, turn negative situations around, and take you to the fullness of your destiny.
Put Jesus first. When you wake up in the morning, put Him first. When you're tired, put Him first. When you've got so much going on and it's so busy and there's so much to do, put Him first. The reality is that you can make it without the things that are stressing you out. But you can't make it without Jesus. You've got to put Jesus first. Before your job, before your desires, before your dreams, put Him first. Put Him first in your schedule. Then put Him first in your finances. Put Him first. Jesus will be first one way or the other. The Bible says that one day every knee will bow and every tongue will confess that Jesus is Lord. That means He is first. Everybody's going to acknowledge it one way or another. So why not put Him first today?
All authorities across the entire universe have to bow to Jesus Christ. And as people fall into the ash heap of human history, so-called greats, Jesus Christ stands alone, unrivaled, unparalleled. He is supreme, and He is our purpose. He is our purpose. All things were created through Him and for Him.
Put Jesus first. Because I've come to tell you that when you put Jesus first, He is able to do a sudden, and He is able to do a radical and a complete change. When you put Jesus first, He's able to effect a fundamental change in your life. He's able to overthrow certain powers that rule the decisions in our ways of thinking and our direction. When we put Jesus first.
You know how we know what our priorities are? What do you put your time into? If you don't have time to spend with Jesus, I'm talking regularly, I'm not talking occasionally. I'm talking regularly. And you don't give Him leftovers, you give Him the best. Spend time with God. Put Him first in everything that you do. And you know what? Some of the upside down things in your life will turn right side up a lot quicker than you think they will. Man does not live by bread alone, but by every word that proceeds out of the mouth of God.
Too many times we say these phrases, we say, Lord, I will make time. No, we cannot make time. Or we say, Lord, I will fit you in. No, we will not fit Him in. Let me say this. Instead of trying to fit Him in or make time for Him, why don't we give our time to Him? You see, there's a shift of thinking right there, because either you hold on to time and you fit him in, or you say, Lord, this is all my time of the day, 24 hours, I give to you. That wherever I am, whatever I'm doing, Lord, you're gonna make a way. That it doesn't matter if it's in the car, or if it's in the bathroom, or in the shower. Lord, I give my 24 hours, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, I give it to you. Because this is what I know, that Jesus said that if we seek him, he will be near. That when we seek him, we will find him. That when we seek him, he will reward us. That when we seek him, he will add all these things for us. When we seek him.
Matthew 6:33, seek ye first the kingdom of God, and all of these things will be added unto you. In case you've forgotten this, let me just remind you that you don't have to seek things, and neither do I. We seek God, and he adds the things. Psalm 37:4, delight yourself in the Lord, and he will give you the desires of your heart.
You have to open up your heart and ask Jesus to be your Lord and your Savior. Romans chapter 10 verse 9 says that if you confess with your mouth that the Lord Jesus and believe in your heart that God has raised him from the dead, you will be saved. Revelation chapter 3 verse 20 says, behold, I stand at the door and knock. If anyone hears my voice and opens the door, I will come in. In other words, Jesus Christ has to be received. He's not going to push his way into your life. You're not going to just change into a Christian. No, you have to receive him as your Lord and Savior. Just because you're in church doesn't mean you're a Christian. But let me say this. Sometimes we receive him, but just a part of our lives. Jesus wants to take every part of your life. We have to say, Lord, you are the minister of everything. Lord, if your kingdom comes, it must control every part of my life.
And you would admit that even though you love Jesus, you haven't really been putting him first lately. There have been some other things that have been crowding ahead of Jesus in your life. He's been on your to-do list, but seems to get pushed further and further down, depending on what else is happening in your life. And for you, it's time to take Jesus off of the to-do list and make him the center of your life. It's time to put Jesus first.
God wants to be part of our lives in every way. He cannot be a once-a-week commitment. He cannot be a tick box that we tick. He cannot be on the to-do list. Jesus is not just a religion. He's not just a symbol. He's not just a story or a subject. He is a living God who desires real relationship with his people. And he desires to be part of everything that goes on in your life.
The things that matter most need to go first. And if you're putting Jesus first, then he's got to be at the center. Put Jesus first in your life and everything else will fall into place. When you are our highest priority, all of the other priorities will be taken care of. Because through you, we have life. Lord, through you, we have freedom from sin. Through you, oh God, your purpose for our life and why you made us, why we even exist, can come to pass. And you need to make a commitment today to put Jesus first, to put Jesus first, to follow him, to have friendship and fellowship with him, and ultimately to put your faith in him.
Put Jesus first. What does that mean? If I had to put something first, here are 4 things I thought would help. If you put something first in your lives, it means these 4 things. Number 1, it means it's a priority. It's a priority. Number 2, if he's going to be first in our lives, he has to carry value above everything else. Number 3, if Jesus is going to be first in our lives, he needs time and he wants resources. And if Jesus is going to be first in our lives, he's got to become our passion.
my priority. I value him. Lord, I give you my time. You are my passion.
Make the things that matter most your highest priority. Do the things that don't matter later. You need to assess your priorities, because many of the things you've been putting first are going to matter the least. But many of the things that have mattered to you the least are going to matter the most one day.
We have to realize that everything that we have, all of our money, all of our possessions, everything we have, and I'm not saying this to be scary, I'm just saying it so we get our priorities in line. I'm saying it to myself as well as you. I mean, it could be gone in 1 hour. So we want to make sure that Jesus is first. And sometimes when we get too caught up in trying to make money, how many people are working 2 and 3 jobs so they can pay for a bunch of stuff that they don't even need? A bigger house, a more expensive car, or this or that, a boat, a yacht, or whatever. And when you're on your deathbed, you're not going to ask for your bank balance. There's not one person in here that's going to say, bring my accountant, I want to know how much money I got in the bank. You're going to want some family. You're going to want some people that love you. You're going to want to have peace to know that you're going to meet with Jesus at any moment.
That's what we do when we establish priorities. We put the things that should be in first place in their proper order. So put Jesus first. To put him first, we need to follow him. There is a benefit to following Jesus. When we follow Jesus, when we put him first, when we follow his instructions, where we go where he calls us to go and do what he instructs us to do, there's a benefit. He offers more than you can currently hold and a way for you to learn how to hold even more.
If we're going to put Jesus first in our lives, we have to love him. We've got to love him. Luke chapter 10, verse 27, it says these words. You shall love the Lord your God with all your heart, and with all your soul, and with all your strength, and with all your mind. Your love mustn't be mechanical. Your love cannot be religious. When it says love the Lord your God, love him must come from your heart. It must be real.
See, here's the thing. Don't grow distant from Jesus. All of us have friends. All of us have people that time and life has kind of gotten in the way, and things have grown distant, maybe literally distant, or maybe just emotionally, but don't grow distant from Jesus. Don't grow distant from Jesus.
You've got to seek him. He wants to be part of everything in your life. We've got to seek him. Matthew chapter 6, verse 33. But seek first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and all these things shall be added to you. Proverbs 8:17. I love those who love me, and those who seek me diligently will find me. Isaiah 55 verse 6 says, seek the Lord while he may be found. Call upon him while he is near. Hebrews 11:6 says, he is a rewarder of those who diligently seek him. What does this mean? This means that we've got to make every opportunity possible to seek the Lord.
See, if we're going to put Jesus first, it means we have to follow him. We've got to go where he goes. We've got to do what he calls us to do. That means following instruction.
We've got to put his word first. John chapter 1 verse 1 says that in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. And if you drop down to verse 14, it says, and the Word became flesh and dwelt amongst us, and he beheld his glory, the glory as of the only begotten of the Father. In other words, Jesus is the Word. That when we put Jesus first, we're putting the Word first. And what does that mean? It means that the Word becomes my final authority. It becomes the authority that I live up to. I'll be under this authority.
I'm going to be under this word. In other words, it's my final authority on to what it says about how I treat my wife. It's my final authority on how I treat my neighbor. It's my final authority on how I do business. It's my final authority on how I give and how I serve and how I love my children, raise my children. It's my final authority on how I deal with money. It's my final authority on how I treat my enemies. That if we want a revolution to happen in our lives that brings change, His word has to be my final authority. I will live according to the word. And this is the thing. The word, the Bible says, is a light to my path. In other words, it illuminates my future.
When you put Jesus first, it means to share Him with others. When you put your faith in Him, it means to share that faith. Putting Jesus first means taking the step to make sure that you are all in. Putting Jesus first means putting your faith in Jesus.
Jesus came and He died for our sin. He died for our shame. He took our sickness upon Himself, and He broke the separation between man and God, that now whoever believes in Him will have everlasting life. It's the Jesus revolution. Put Jesus first.
The single most determining factor of the quality of your life is predicated upon your mindset.
The easiest thing I do every year, ladies and gentlemen, is earn millions of dollars. That's the easy part. Speaking to corporations, that was easy to do. Let me tell you what it took me years to do, was to believe that I could do it. That's the biggest thing that you will have to overcome. I would go see these various speakers, and I would sit back and watch them. And I would start going to the car, be fired up. And I said, I could do that. And my mind then would say, Les Brown, you can't do that. You don't have a college education. Les Brown, you can't do that. You've never worked for a major corporation. Les Brown, you can't do that. You've never had any experience doing things like this before. You don't know the right people. You don't have the complexion of connection. Why would someone hire you? Why would someone hire you to teach them and to motivate them to do something that you have never done? Be practical, be realistic, be logical. It can't be done. You have no credentials. And so based upon that, I didn't even attempt to do it. I held myself back. Maya Angelou said that most people go so far in life and then they park. They take some hits. They have some failures. They have some disappointments. And they stop dead in their tracks. I went through a divorce from someone that I love very much. I was embarrassed. Boom. My mother was diagnosed with breast cancer. I was hurt. Boom. My best friend was diagnosed with cancer of the liver. Boom. I took a hit. I was diagnosed 9 years ago with prostate cancer and given 2 to 3 years to live. Boom. I took a hit. I parked. I took so many hits. Perhaps that's what Bigger Thomas said. The impulse to dream has been slowly beaten out of me through the experiences of life. Wasn't even dreaming anymore. I didn't even know where I was.
You'll think this is it for you. And other people will think you're done too. They'll be telling you to give up.
And people you thought that would support you will turn against you. They'll criticize you. They'll tear you down. Your life will be full of darkness, and you won't see a way out.
But when you're down in that hole, I want you to remember something. The only person who can save you is you.
Your job in this moment is to muster up enough strength to push yourself back out of your negative pattern of thinking and into the arena of life once again.
If you spend 30 minutes thinking about the fact you can't do something, I need you to spend an hour dreaming about the fact that you can.
What's the worst thing that can happen if I decide to take a chance on me? People laugh at me, I lose all my money, so I can come back again. See, my wealth is not determined based upon what I have. My wealth is determined based upon who I am.
That's why I want you to increase your goals dramatically. And I don't want you to ask yourself how you're going to do it. How is none of your business. There's a reason we're told to walk by faith and not by sight. The reason we're told to call forth those things that be not as though they were. You have power power in you that you don't even know.
You want to develop an ongoing strategy, a plan of action of self-empowerment.
So you've got to listen to music and speeches that can uplift you. Read books to strengthen your thoughts. Watch movies that fire you up, because you're going to constantly have low moments where you won't want to keep going. You'll want to just fall apart. So you've got to control what you let in your mind and reprogram it with positivity. If you don't program your mind, life will program you.
Monitor your self-talk and realize that you're more than able. You were born for this, that you have the power within you to live your dream. And as you read and feed your mind with the pictures and the dreams and the words that empower you, it does something to you. It stimulates you. It inspires you. And you say, hey, I can do it too. And you find yourself being confident. Let that drive you to make sure you do your homework, to work hard at developing technical mastery, of covering all of your bases, so that whatever comes, you can handle it.
If you listen to what everybody else is saying, if you judge according to appearances, then you will find yourself constantly being negative. But you want to go to the other end of the spectrum. You want to know some way, somehow, things are going to get better. How? I don't know, and I don't have to know. I just have to have faith and believe that everything's going to be all right. All I need to do is to know it, to expect it, and to keep on doing what I can, where I am, with what I've got right now.
Start planning and preparing for what it is that you want, because you expect to get it. If you want to come out here and reach your goals and make your dreams come true, you don't want to do it by dragging and doing it casually. No, you want to begin to put out more energy and more effort than ever before. You've got to become unstoppable, because there'll be many things to turn you around. You've got to think constantly on why you're doing it. What are the rewards? What's there for you across the goal line? What are the things that'll make it worth it for you?
My life is worthwhile. Doesn't matter what I've experienced. Doesn't matter about what I don't have. Doesn't matter about what I've gone through. What's important is that where I am right now, that I live life and I experience my life fully. And you owe it to yourself. So when you get up in the morning, that you can look yourself in the face and say, hey, I'm living my life on my terms.
Do you know how many people have had visions, ideas, and huge career moves that they were about to make, and they allowed the word no to stop them?
When you make the decision to do what you want to do with your life, just know this: because the family and the friends in your life do not share your vision, in most cases, they will be the first person to try and talk you out of what you want to do with your life. But know this: only those that can see the invisible can do the impossible.
People that don't have any dreams for themselves, they tend to be dream killers. They'll laugh at you. They'll call you names because they have no dreams. They don't want it.
Most people go through life holding back. If you get into the habit of just being mediocre, it will become a part of your consciousness. If you get in the habit of giving less than what you have it within you to give, it will begin to reflect itself in your personality. It will begin to damage you psychologically. And you don't want to be a part of that kind of self-destructive behavior. You want to set some high standards for yourself. There's greatness in you. And you've got to learn how to tune out the critics outside and the critic inside. And since I'm going to do this, I'm going to harness my will, and I'm not going to let anything stop me.
You have to be relentless. You have to never let off the gas, never stop, never quit. Never allow anyone to talk you out of the dream, the vision, and ideas. And understand that for every level, there's another devil. It is the devil's job to create challenges, issues, and conflicts, insecurities, fear, because he wants to put you to a test. But I can tell you now, I pick the devil off every day because I just don't stop. And the devil is so mad. This fucking guy, doesn't matter if he gets sick, it doesn't matter what happens to his money or his finances, every time he gets out of his bed and he's on a mission to get it done.
And as you begin to look at your life, decide that you're going to start working on that dream. You're going to work and nurture that idea. Now, there will be people that will criticize you. There will be people that won't see it for you. I say to you, don't let nobody turn you around. You don't need anybody to understand it. You don't need anybody to approve you. You don't need anybody to say, go ahead on and do it. If you get that, that's fantastic. But I say stand up within yourself boldly and say, this is my life. I'm controlling my destiny.
We all get knocked down in every aspect of life.
You're going to fall flat on your face. You're going to be criticized when you come out into the arena called life. You're going to feel awkward and stupid and dumb sometimes. But it's okay. It goes with the territory.
Dirt on you. But you need dirt on you to develop. Because dirt ain't just dirt. Dirt is fertilizer. Dirt is nutrients. Dirt gives you the strength for your seed to push through. See, you gotta have dirt on you to push through something. Everything you see that's beautiful starts out as a seed, but that seed got to get dirt on it. See, you get mad when haters come your way. You get mad because you get upset. You get mad because you lost your mama. That's dirt. But show me something that has grown into something beautiful that didn't have no dirt on it. You got to have dirt on you to grow into what God got for you.
And maybe you've been knocked down in your life and it seems like, hey, the fight is over. It is not over unless you quit.
You have to learn to turn and look at every obstacle as an opportunity.
You got to get gritty, man. You got to develop some dog in you.
Life is gonna throw some serious blows, some body blows, and they go hurt. But I want you to feel that pain going through your body. And as pain leaves your body, guess what's gonna take its place? Success. No pain, no gain.
Pain has a purpose. Don't go through it, grow through it.
Stop running from your pain and embrace your pain. Your pain is going to be a part of your prize. I challenge you to push yourself. When you get to the point where enough is enough, when you get to the point where it hurt real bad, when you get to the point you can't take it no more, when you get to that point, doors start opening, opportunities start happening. But what you cannot do is you cannot quit during the process. You cannot give up because it ain't what you see. You cannot give up. Champions keep going when they don't have anything left in their tank, when they don't have no more, when it's over, when they're tired, when they're frustrated, when they're ready to give up, when they spent their last dime. That's when they get started. It's when you have nothing left. It's when you depleted all your money, when all your energy gone, when you have nothing left. That's when it's showtime. When you find a way out of no way. When you find breath that you don't have. When you find energy that did not exist. When you want this thing as bad as you want to breathe, that's when you find a way. I wish I could tell you it's gonna get easier. I wish I could tell you that if you just keep going, the weight is gonna get lighter. I wish I could tell you that, but that's not the truth. The truth is you gotta find something within. You gotta find something within, and that's gotta push you, and that's gotta elevate you, and that's gotta drive you, and that's gotta move you. And when you find out what your why is, you don't hit snooze no more. When you find your why, you find a way to make it happen. I challenge you to never give up. Never give up. You're gonna be here one day, but you'll never get here if you give up, if you give in, if you quit. And finally, guys, you gotta wanna succeed as bad as you wanna breathe.